The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
All right, Andrew Rogers back here on the Domino's post-game report after Carson-Newman wallops USC Aiken by a final score of 87-47 here with the head coach Mike Mincey on the Eagles Sports Network. His comments brought to us by Modern Woodman Financial Planning. Coach, you were unhappy with yesterday's 8-point effort to get the job done against Lander. What's the word for this 40-point win?
I like the way they responded. I didn't get upset with them. A win's a win. It was an ugly win yesterday. We didn't play our best, and we knew that there's a lot more that we could bring to the table. But we had a shoot around this morning. We talked about it, challenged them quite a bit on, what I expect out of them. And I thought they came out and actually exceeded my expectations on what they brought to the table today. There was a lot of energy defensively. I thought Tori was spearheaded that a lot with her play, and it carries over to everybody. And Lindsay picked up 2 fouls early. Ruth and Callie did a good job of playing in her place as backup fives, and everybody that stepped on the floor brought something positive to the table.
Let's start in the first quarter. Braylon Weichel had 13 first-quarter points of your 21. When things struggled yesterday offensively, it was the complete opposite today. How much of a spark was that to see her get off to such a good start today and shoot much better than she did from yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday was a struggle for her, and to see her come back today, and that, when she can play that way, it spreads to the rest of our team. And she's our offensive leader. We all know that, and just her getting looks and getting opportunities to score and making them cash in, and then everybody can kind of play around that. It makes for a beautiful basketball game from our standpoint.
Defensively, some very impressive numbers. 27 turnovers. You score nearly 30 points off of those turnovers that you forced of USC Aiken. Why was that 2-2-1 pressure so effective today?
Well, it's all about effort. We've talked about it for a long time. And we have depth. We know we have a lot of depth. It's hard to get everybody in the game, actually. But I just think the effort was there. You're not always going to get turnovers and steals out of the press. You're trying to, stymie the offensive team a little bit. And I just felt like their effort was superior today than one of the best efforts I've seen in terms of how they wanted to defend and play defense. And, I think that's when that happens, that's when your press is going to look its best.
1,000 career points for Lindsey Taylor. She gets that mark today in the third quarter. Not at Carson-Newman, but for her entire career.
Okay.
Scored some at Furman. Still has, I think, 200-some points left before she gets it in her Carson-Newman career. But a lot of that came in the third quarter after she missed most of the first half. And almost felt like she returned to form before her injury last year. What did you see from your post player?
Well, she just relaxed, took her time. But, we got some things where she got to the free throw line because they were, fouling her down there. And then she was getting out and running the lane hard. We're trying to push the ball down the floor. I thought off defensive rebounds, Lindsay does a good job of sprinting the lane and getting down to the rim, and we could throw it ahead to her and get buckets. So, and she made her free throws. What was she today?
6 of 9.
6 of 9. All right, we'll take that. That's pretty good. But and 1,000 points, I didn't realize that, but 1,000 points in college is 1,000 points, whether it's here or she gets some of them at Furman. So, congratulations on Lindsay. That's good. I didn't know that in my post-game talk, but that's good. She's somebody we need, and she didn't get to play a lot in the first half because of foul trouble. Like I said, relied on Callie and Ruth, and then she was fresh to come in there in the third quarter and have a big quarter for us.
You mentioned having to get all these players some minutes. Braylon played 26. Nobody else played more than 20. So based off that, you did a pretty good job of getting everybody into the game. I could probably sit here and point out what one player did that saw time on the floor that somebody did so effectively. What impressed you the most about what was a team effort? It seemed like everybody that's touched the floor made a huge impact.
Well, one thing that is kind of hard, honestly, from our coaching standpoint is, we see these kids in practice every day, and all of them can play. They can all play. We can put them all in and try to get something good out of them when they play. But, we have experienced kids that we're trying to rely on first, and then we're trying to get these sophomores and freshmen minutes as best we can to get them experience, whether it be for this year or for the future. You never know when sickness is going to happen, an injury, and I like – if we could play like that all the time with the minutes, I like that, because we're getting multiple people. We're getting to use our bench, trying to wear into your opponent a little bit. And, today it worked out about as well as it could work out for us.
Certainly it'll be hard to replicate this type of effort next week when you head to take on Georgia Southwestern and Columbus State, but how can a win like this, because of what happened in Game 1, help this team build momentum here in November?
I mean, getting Game 1 out of the way was huge for our team. I think for whatever reason, I mean, even our experienced players, there was a lot of just nervousness and jitterness. You saw that in how we scored, or how we didn't score, rather, how we shot the ball. Played great defense, but didn't score the ball well. And to come out today and just play with that energy. But, our offense kind of drives us a little bit. Once we saw the ball going in the hoop and we were still getting stops, I think that's what kind of just gave us that adrenaline rush to even play harder on the defensive end. And then once we got to the third quarter, that's when I think we really made our mark. I mean, I told them in the locker room, we scored 7 points in the first quarter yesterday, 25 points in the half, and then we go for 30 there in the third quarter alone. But a lot of that is our depth. It is the second day of a tournament. Aiken has a drive over here. They got here late last night. They had not a quick turnaround, but they played, the 8:30 last night and then 3:30 today. So depth was just a huge thing for us today, and I'm hoping it's something that we can use moving forward. Next week, 2 different types of opponents, so we'll see how our team handles playing on the road.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Congrats on your first 40-point win since 2020.
Oh, thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it.
That's the head coach. It's the job done at home.